Zach, are you crazy?
We back.
Yes, sir.
Another episode of the Magnetico podcast. I am Jason. I'm here with my son Cole.
What's up, everybody?
Thank you for checking us out. Thank you for coming back for the Packers versus 49er breakdown episode.
What a game, honestly.
It was a good game.
I thought it was closer than I thought it would be.
Definitely the Packers, they had a great shot at winning it. They just at the end made some silly mistakes, and that's what happens in the NFL playoffs. You got to play perfect ball. You got to play perfect ball this time of the season to make that run. But
the Packers had a great season. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs at all, honestly. So
no, neither did I, for sure. And I like I said, I was low key rooting there at the end for Green Bay to pull it out because our Bucks play later on today, and I felt good about. But honestly, San Francisco didn't impress me as much as I was expecting to be impressed by them. Yeah. They're a different team without Debo on offense, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Debo is very versatile on that offense. They use him for a lot of different things that they don't use like Ayuk for. But Ayuk's a special receiver. He's very good. But they don't really utilize him like they utilize Debo in the running game a lot. But they don't really do that with Ayuk. They just pass to him.
One takeaway that I have is both the Texans and Packers have bright futures. Because they've got rookie quarterbacks, making it into
neither of them are rookies.
Well, first year starters.
Yeah, Jordan Love is. Brock Purdy was starting. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they're not rookies, but I thought Jordan Love was a rookie.
He got drafted in like 2020.
Okay, so first year at the helm, leading the team.
He was just backing up Aaron Rodgers for a while.
But the thing that sticks out is it's very hard for a first-year quarterback, a rookie quarterback, to play at a very high level and then especially make a deep run into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that has been done. Has there been a rookie quarterback, first-year quarterback, go to the Super Bowl?
I know there's been like a couple of rookie quarterbacks to go to the AFC, NFC championship, like Joe Flacco, 2008. I'm pretty sure he went to the AFC championship as a rookie. And there's been some others, but I don't know if a rookie quarterback's ever been in the Super Bowl. I don't think so.
And the Packers had a chance late in the game. The missed field goal really hurt them.
I want to get your thought. I want to get your thought on that.
Okay.
So Matt LaFleur, right? Packers head coach. He says that whenever Andres Carlson goes up to kick it, he said that he just prays. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that all coaches pray when a kicker goes out there to kick.
Why do you think that?
You have a lot of people that think certain kickers are automatic.
Yeah.
I think of Morton Anderson back in the day.
Justin Tucker.
Automatica. They used to call Grammatica. You have really good kickers, but when you're kicking in conditions at this time of year, anything can happen. And it's kind of a bad thing for the coach to say.
Yeah, because it makes him look like that he's not confident in his kicker.
Well, then why is he on the team?
Yeah, he is a rookie kicker.
Yeah.
They just got rid of Mason Crosby like in the offseason because that guy is like 40 years old. But, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a bad look on Matt LaFleur because it looks like he's not confident in his player.
Yeah, I mean, that's something he probably shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help the rookie kicker confidence. But they had a chance. They got the ball back. They could have drove down the field. And
it's just a first-year starter mistake that Jordan Love made.
First-year starter. I mean, terrible decision. I mean, he could have.
At that point, just throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, you're rolling to your right.
Or scramble. There's no the only person that's in the vicinity of tackling you is the guy that's rushing you, and he's like to your side. So why not just take off, get like 10, 15 yards, and run out of bounds? You know what I mean?
And you wonder what goes through a player's mind in situations like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a first year starting or whatever, but that's basic football. basic football, and you don't throw across your body across the whole field ever. Like you never should do that.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it on a game-winning drive in the playoffs when you had, like you said, space to run, or just throw the ball out and live to play another down? It made no sense.
They have like 50 seconds on the clock, 2 timeouts. It's first down. There's no reason to be throwing that ball across the middle.
Yeah, and the announcers were giving Green Bay a little bit of hell there for not calling the timeout before the touchdown, but they saved a timeout for offense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was okay with that. They had plenty of timeouts and good offense to drive down the field and tie the game up, but terrible decision. But, that's something that he's going to learn from and hopefully not make that mistake in the future. I know Green Bay Packers fans are probably sick over that.
Yeah, but, like, Green Bay Packers fans should be happy for the season because nobody expected them to make it this far, right? And they put up a great fight against arguably the best team in the NFL. Best team in the NFC for sure. But, I mean, I'd be happy as a Packers fan because they have a bright future for sure.
So I want to pick your brain on something that I got a couple things in my notes about the game, but the one thing that I want to pick your brain, right before San Francisco scored the touchdown to take the lead, in that particular instance that I'm talking about where they didn't call the timeout.
Yeah.
On that touchdown play, if you watch the tape back, I think it's the linebacker, he goes up to make the tackle. He just throws his shoulder into the guy. And the running back bounces off, gets into the end zone. Do you think in that situation he wanted them to score?
Yes,
So,
for sure.
So they weren't trying to make the stop.
For sure, they wanted him to score. Because, listen, he scored that touchdown with 1:07 on the clock, and they're only down by a field goal. All they have to do is drive down there, get in field goal range, and Matt LaFleur is going to pray. But, I mean...
See, I guess I'm old school because, you don't let the other team score. Like, you don't...
the only reason they let him score is because they get more time on the clock to get down the field.
No, I understand that. And I understand if you was on the 1. But they was on the 5. Like, you're in the playoffs. Make a couple stops and you win the game. Like, and this linebacker goes in and he just throws his shoulder into the running back where he didn't... There was no attempt to tackle. I mean, he threw his body into him. NFL running back is going to bounce off of that.
Yeah.
He didn't try to wrap up. He didn't do it. And hell, if you're going to do that, why even risk the injury of throwing your shoulder into the guy? Let him score. So it was almost like I'm trying to make it look real, but it's just weak to me.
Script writers going crazy on this.
But I get the point. I would just have a hard time as a coach. Let them score so we get the ball back and go down and win it. I have a hard time with that, but I understand the situation.
I mean, it's just how football has evolved since you were born.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it can evolve. I just don't necessarily agree with it. It's not arena ball.
And that Packers offense can drive down the field in a minute and get in field goal range.
I get that.
They had confidence in themselves to do that, but it just didn't happen.
Just not confidence in the kicker.
Yeah.
Another thing that I noticed was there was a run that McCaffrey made on one of his touchdowns when they were showing the replay. And I knew this happened before because I've seen it like on kickoff returns. I've seen players do this. But McCaffrey kind of breaks into the hole and gets into space, and his eyes on the replay immediately went up.
Yeah, to see if anybody's behind him.
That's crazy. Like, I don't think there should be a live thing of the game on the Jumbotron where you can have a rear view mirror of seeing, because guys can like wig, like when you see a guy running full speed and then all of a sudden he makes a little juke to the right and then like diagonal cut to the left. Like back in the day, you feel that pressure. So that's an instinct that a specialty player, wide receiver, or back, or kick returner, or punt returner would have of knowing when that pressure's coming and making those cuts. Now these fools looking at the Jumbotron to see how close the guy is behind them. So that just stuck out to me.
It's just how technology in football has evolved. I mean, that's all I got to say about that.
I guess I'm too old school. So give me some stats of this game. What sticks out to you?
Aaron Jones, honestly, he's been awesome this year for the Packers when he's been on the field. He had 18 attempts for 108 yards. Didn't have a touchdown, though. And he only had 8 yards receiving. He's just been great for the Packers this year. I mean, in the playoffs, too. He had 3 touchdowns last week against Cowboys. And Christian McCaffrey, of course, had 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, and some 30 yards receiving. I mean, those 2 running backs, it was a great running back matchup. Two of the top, let me not say that. 2 great running backs in the league. I mean, they're just going at it. Christian McCaffrey is top 3 in MVP. I said it.
Top 3.
Top 3 in MVP. But they're not going to give it to him because he's a running back. And Lamar Jackson is the MVP. But Christian McCaffrey's definitely top 3 in MVP.
Great running back. Great weapon to have for their offense.
For
But like I said, without Debo, do we know anything about Debo's status? Like, what happened?
I actually don't know. Let me look that up actually
Because that's definitely a different team if Debo can't play next week for the 49ers.
Oh, for sure. It says, oh my goodness, what's going on? It says San Francisco 49ers, Debo Samuel says he's okay following injury.
Okay, so he'll probably play, but he may not be 100%.
Yeah. He's been getting injured a lot since his 2021 campaign where he won Offensive Player of the Year. He's been great, but
So was San Francisco rusty?
maybe because I felt like that's why the Ravens Texas game was close because like they had like a 2-week stint, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
honestly a 3-week stint for the Ravens and 49ers because they didn't play their what's it called? They didn't play their starters in week 18.
Yeah.
So oh wait, no, that would be 2 weeks then.
That's 2 weeks.
18.
Well, I mean,
Wild
by the time the
card.
game gets there, that's the third week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder. Sometimes I think that. So it definitely is better to have the home field advantage
For sure.
and get the bye. I mean, let's not. Come on, that's what you want.
Because they have more time to practice, like go over plays, stuff like
But
that.
I do
Watch
think
film.
that not playing for 2.5 weeks and having that game because you're not going that fast in practice. So I think that Baltimore and San Fran looked a little rusty, but
Baltimore looked great. I mean,
they started out a little rusty.
yeah, it started out rusty, but second half they picked it up.
Yeah.
But the 49ers will be back next week for sure. After playing this game, they're going to be ready for whoever they play, and that's the championship for sure.
But I if it's Tampa or Detroit, I don't know. I think it's the NFL playoffs. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a close game.
There's not going to be a blowout. I mean, besides yesterday, but there's not going to be a blowout in the NFL playoffs, like a really bad blowout.
And weather shouldn't be a factor if Tampa or Detroit has to go to, they would definitely have to go to San Fran. So I don't think weather would be a factor. But weather was a factor last night.
Yeah, it was a factor last night.
With the rain.
You never know.
Yeah,
you never know. It's whoever it is going to be a great game, honestly, because Tampa's hot right now. And Detroit's just a great football team. So, but we'll get into that in the next episode.
Yeah, so we're going to watch the Bucks versus the Lions game today. And we'll put this episode out before that, and we'll drop another episode, and we'll go a little more in depth about the Bucks game, being that we have Bucks fans and we're both Bucks fans. But looking forward to that. And if any key, because I know people are going to listen to this before. Some people listen to this before the game goes on. Any key things? Give me one key thing for the Bucks for this game.
Play some defense. It's obvious that you have to play defense, but our defense has stepped up these past 2 weeks against the Panthers and the Eagles, but we really need to step up against this Detroit offense because it is heavy. Their offense is heavy. My one key for this game is to get Mike Evans involved early and often and make him be the playmaker that he is in this game and lead the Bucks to victory. I agree for sure, but last week we got everybody involved and it worked. You know what I mean? Cade Otton had like 100 receiving yards. David Moore had a 40-yard touchdown.
No, I agree. It's great to see those other players stepping up and making plays, and Godwin can do it. The thing that I want to see is get them involved early, show the threat of what we can, and then it's going to open those other things up because those guys are used to making plays now. They're stepping up for us. So that's the thing that I'm looking at. So, all right, we want to thank everybody for listening to the Magnetico podcast for the breakdown of the 49ers and Packers game. And we'll be back later on this afternoon with the Bucks and Detroit Lions breakdown.
Let's go Bucks. Peace.
Zach, are you crazy?